A tall, handsome man in a black shirt and pants with glasses sat in his dingy little office. He was scribbling on papers with some skill using a black quill and ink. He stopped when he heard his son Lance arguing with his assistant outside the office. "Go away, Necromancer, he's working." "But I have to see him. It is important." Blake Alexander heard his assistant shouting. Blake got up, walked to the door and opened it, standing in the doorway. "Why are you arguing?" "He wanted to disturb you from your important work." Lance glared at Dante. "But this is important." "Not as important as his work. He must run a smooth, consistent office for this place to keep out of anarchy. Dante takes my job more seriously than I do." "What is wrong, boy?" "Someone tried to assassinate the King of the Earth." "They did? How is Granddad?" "He's alive. He was lucky. He was just winged." "I told him it was not important. Nobody died." "So it was not important. Where is he?" "Charing Cross Hospital under police guard. That is not all I came to say. Fate has decreed that I am to kill the assassin." "Oh? Do we know who they are?" "That's the problem, we don't. We better go see my granddad and find out how he is and what he knows." "No, you have work to do, Blake." "No, I have to see the King of the Earth." Blake stood up to Dante, who was a bit of a pen pusher and took Blake's job too seriously. "What's so important about the King of the Earth?" The man known as the King of the Earth was in reality more than that. He was not really Fred Alexander, a lowly planetary king. He was actually better known as Sapphirus Argent, Emperor of the Silver Intergalactic Empire. It consisted of the entire galaxy. He just preferred the name Fred Alexander, his human name, as Sapphirus Argent sounded too stuffy for him. Most of his family had two names, a human name and an alien name, all but Lazulite Argent, the last fate who reigned as ruler of everything. He was a bit of a busybody with a dark streak. He made Lance play Avenging Angel, killing bad guys. The police saw him as a mad serial killer, as did Blake. He was not mad, just misguided, and Blake knew it. Lazulite went by his lofty surname Argent. "Let's go see the king now." "Beat you there!" Lance disappeared into thin air, followed by his dad, who disappeared too, leaving one angry Dante alone. Blake and Lance appeared at the reception desk of the hospital. "What do you want, Dr. Death?" "No, not you. Where's the receptionist?" "On a break, I'm filling in." "Okay, where is Frederick Alexander's room?" "You aren't needed there. He's alive!" "I know, I came to see him. He is my grandfather." "He can't be. He's as old as you are." "No, we just look young for our age." "And I suppose he's your son then?" The orderly pointed at Lance, who looked 25 too. "As a matter of fact, he is." "Yeah, right. Pull the other leg, it's a corpse." "Oh, never mind. Just tell me where Fred is." "I'll take you there." "Okay, lead the way, Mr. Jack Taylor." Lance read the orderly's name badge. "Are you an actor? I think I met you at a friend's show." "Yes, who's your friend?" "Argent." "Yes, I know him, bossy fella." "Yes." "Fred Alexander is in here." They got to the room Fred was in. "Do you know these men?" "Yes, hi Blake, hi Lance." Fred was in a hospital bed under the guard of a policeman in odd clothes. He wore a red tux and top hat and was masked. "Are you one of them magicians?" The magicians were alien superheroes who helped out the police. "Yes." "I was talking to him." Jack pointed at the man in red. "Hi, Uncle Reynard." Blake addressed his great uncle, the man in red. "Hello, Blake. Hello, Lancelot. I was just asking the king here about his shooter. King? What is he king of?" "I'm the king of the world," Fred said awkwardly, hoping not to sound too pretentious. "The world? What world? This world, the Earth, of course." Ray laughed at the thought anyone would need to ask. "He's one of your kind?" "He's my brother, the Red Fox, the king of Mars." "Then you two are related to him?" "Like I said." "Oh, I can't take this?" Jack wandered off. "How are you, Granddad?" "Fine, just can't write." "Hi. Did you see who shot you?" "Not well, I think he had gray skin." "Not human, then." "Of course not, boy. How many humans have gray skin?" "Any more clues?" Lance ignored his dad's comment. "He called me by my name? King of the Earth or Fred Alexander?" "My real name." Fred looked around suspiciously for people who may hear him. "You mean they used your imperial name?" "Yes, they said something about ridding the empire of the tyrant Sapphirus Argent," Fred said quietly. Lance closed the door to the room. "It seems related to the intergalactic summit we are holding here. No one else would call you that." "Yes, put on a summit and wackos usually come out of the floorboards." "Yes, he's going to try again. Yes, more than likely at the summit, so we'll have to cancel it." "We can trap him in the act." "No, we can't risk the life of the Emperor." "You aren't the only one who wants to get the assassin. According to what Mortimer said, his son the Necromancer wants to kill the assassin." Blake was secretly Mortimer, which was his Reaper name. Neither Ray nor Fred knew he was anything more than a friend to Blake. Does he? Maybe we can trap him or draw him out, or the Necromancer can kill the assassin if we don't cancel it. True. but I don't know which assassin I would put my money on. Days later. Fred stood by a podium with his arm looking normal. His bandages were hidden beneath a silver tux with blue trim. Welcome to the Intergalactic Conference of the Silver Empire. I am Sapphirus Argent, Emperor of the Silver Intergalactic Empire. Fred said to the people at the summit into a microphone. Crowd, hail Sapphirus! Voices shouted from the crowd. Behind Sapphirus stood his son, Darkstar or Varisite Argent, otherwise known as Valentine Alexander. He was Blake's dad. The Raven or Varisite's wife, Larimar, known as Laura Alexander. Blake's aunt Sapphira Merlin was there. Blue Midnight, Emperor of the local solar system, or Alexandrite Argent, who we know as Blake Alexander. Blake's wife Anatase Argent is called Angela Alexander by humans. Lastly was the Enchanter or Lakelandite Argent we know as Lancelot Alexander. I would like to thank my grandson, the local Emperor Alexandrite, for organizing this summit. I would also like to thank my brother Rhodonite for organizing the security. Later in the summit, there was a masquerade dance. Lance wandered around, looking for suspicious characters and actions. While he was looking around, he found two suspicious characters. They were his niece, Astra Sapphira Starfire, and her husband, Maximilian, also known as Marcasite Starfire. They were the vampire king and queen. Lance raised Astra when her parents were murdered. He was like a father to her. Hi, Lance, have you found him yet? Not yet. The night is still young. You are the most suspicious people I met here. No one more suspicious than little old us, joked Astra. Lance wandered off, leaving them to themselves. Astra, queen of vampires, went to a masquerade, an opportunist. She was with her husband Max, the king. They danced all night, then they got people alone and they took a little drink. She savored the taste of the blood she drank. She drank it in a wine glass in her black gloved hand. Her gloves were made of fishnet lace and her hands were bejeweled. Her husband stood admiring her long black tresses, her dress, and her gothic beauty. On her face, a black lace mask fit tight on her finely chiseled face. Max told a joke. She laughed and cried. She laughed too much. She flirted with silence and bit her fingertips. They danced like newlyweds, enjoying the dance and each other's company. Their eyes never left each other. It was as if nothing else mattered. Their hearts in their mouths, the world felt as if it was theirs alone. They took joy in each other's touch and movements and the other's loving glance. The world was lost. All that existed was the music and the magical moment, which lasted till the dawn's light peeked in, and the moment was gone. Back to Lance, he was still wandering around when his father walked over to him. Hi, boy, have you seen anything suspicious? Hi, Dad, the only suspicious thing I've seen is vampires. I think you will have a vampire victim or two in your morgue tomorrow as coroner. I do not doubt that, said Blake grimly. Ray, seeing them, wandered over to them and asked if they saw anything suspicious. Nothing unusual, just exorations getting drunk on the punch. Think somebody spiked it. It seems so. I wonder if the necromancer is here. I don't know, here or there, I suppose. He could be anyone or anywhere, right, Lance? I wouldn't know. Look who's coming, said Blake, seeing Fred walking up to them. Oh damn, the sycophants. How is everybody tonight? Good, Granddad? All is good with me, too. Good, how are you? Just working out deals with the ambassadors, said Fred. Fred was not alone. He was surrounded by a gaggle of delegates. Were they the people from behind you when you opened the summit? Alexandrite Argent and your son here, Lakelandite Argent. Your other son, Chrysoprase, the timekeeper, is amazing. He is his eldest son and he is my brother Rhodonite, the Martian king, said Fred to his followers. Nice to meet you, said Blake, smiling charmingly. He ignored the mistake and the reference to his murdered daughter, which was still raw even 20 years later. Lance smiled. Kakna es Narnesh, Lance said to the alien in its own language. Roughly translated as good evening, I have to go see you around, and walked away to look for something out of place. That was just a sycophantic ambassador. He was no trouble, just a pain in the neck to Lance, who despised sycophants more than pen pushers. He had no time for either of them. He knew sycophants annoyed his father as much as he did, but he could take it because he was a pen pusher. A teenage girl walked up to him. This is the most boring party I've ever seen. This is a political party, Chrysoberyl. It is meant to be boring. Stop using my real name. Call me Christine. Sorry, Christine. Have you seen anything strange tonight? She was his daughter and apprentice. She had been looking for suspicious things there at the masquerade. Oh yeah, I saw Astra and Max killing someone and drinking their blood out of wine glasses. Yuck. Oh, other than that? Yeah. What did you see? Oh, I saw a gray alien looking very suspicious. He was dressed as Zorro. Haven't I told you not to be racist? Call them by their proper name, exorations, not by their skin color. Dad! Christine, what was it doing? Fighting with a Venusian bartender over his wearing a weapon. What, a sword? No, a gun. A gun? Where is he now? He's talking to Granddad, Christine said, pointing at an oddly dressed gray alien. Lance ran over to them. Lance grabbed the arm of Zorro. Dad, it's him! Lance dragged Zorro into another room. It was all set up for a banquet, but it was empty. The sounds outside the room leaked in. Laughter and music rang slightly muffled into the room. Lance and the alien Zorro ignored it. Who are you and why are you, as you people say, manhandling me? The last person you will see alive. Who are you? I know who you are and why you are here. I doubt that. You have come to kill the Emperor Sapphirus, and I have come to kill you. Who are you? No one you need to know. The alien was trying to pull away, but he wasn't strong enough. Let me go, or I'll shoot you. Lance looked at the alien and saw a gun in its free hand. He let the alien go. It backed off, aiming the gun at Lance. Lance looked angry with himself for not thinking of the gun. The alien ran out of the room. Lance picked up a knife and followed it. There were murmurs outside the room. The alien screamed Gifani Argent, and there was a gunshot. Fred fell, and Lance raised his hand. The knife was gone. It was in the alien's back. Blake helped his granddad, whom he knocked over seeing the gun. Ray ran to see if his brother was all right. He saw Fred was just shocked but fine. So he ran to the alien. He was dead. Lance, what happened? I killed him. He was trying to shoot the Emperor of the Galaxy. Good work, Lance. I knew the Necromancer would fail to kill him. Blake looked at Lance and bowed his head knowingly, acknowledging that the Necromancer did well.